Victoria, this has the classic setup of what if this creepy neighbor is a serial killer, and then it goes on so many twists and turns after that. But what did you like about that initial setup? Because it really plays into a trope and then goes wild with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a trope that people love for a reason. Like it's exciting, it's suspenseful. And I think like there's just such a natural human curiosity of like, who are your neighbors? Like, who is this creepy person? What is, like we were talking about just before, Devon, like someone that's so close, but yet you know such little about them. So there's that natural curiosity. And then, yeah, I mean, I just feel like when I read the script, like there's so many twists and turns, and I feel like it has all the ingredients of a good thriller. There's like there's suspense, there's blood, there's murder, there's sex, there's greed, you know, all that good stuff all mixed into one.
Yeah, it definitely has it all. And Devin, from the viewer's perspective, you're very much like the one adult in the situation, it seems like at first, where you're like, hey, let's not break into this guy's place. How is it kind of being like the voice of reason that's constantly being ignored?
I mean, it's always hard to be the smart one that nobody listens to. It drives you a little bit crazy, and I think it drove her a little bit crazy. But I mean, being a quiet, creative girl who's like shy and no one listens to, I mean, it's frustrating. And your best friend's like, taking the side of someone else. It's like a little bit, definitely frustrating for her. But I mean, yeah, it was like definitely fun to play that part that was like kind of separated.
Yeah, and Victoria, your character Grace, it's fun to see just how she changes throughout the film because she definitely finds the danger very intoxicating, and you can see that opens up the side of her that she didn't really ever embrace before. What did you find most interesting about that kind of facet to the character?
Yeah, I mean, I like that she kind of has this arc of being one way, you know, she's a law student, she's a smart girl, but then she's kind of exposed to, you know, when she goes into Ever's apartment, and she does have this sort of like thrill seeking side to her, and her exploring that danger is very titillating for her, and it's very like sexual and fun, and it was really fun to play and to do it with Taylor, who's also a great actor. We had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and Devin, I don't want to get into spoilers, but there's just so many wild twists and turns in this movie. So I was curious what your reaction was when you read the script and just saw how many different directions this was going in, because I'm sure you're just as surprised as viewers were.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first time I read the script, I was like, what did what? Like, I was like, I don't, is she, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. It's so hard to talk about this kind of film and not spoil it. But, um, I mean, I was not confused, but more just like curious and like knew that this character had like a whole nother side to her that like maybe wasn't even in the script. You know what I mean? Like, she has this whole mysterious kind of not life, but just like side that not everyone knows about. I mean, she's like a quiet, reclusive girl, And yeah, I mean I was intrigued.
Yeah, and I assume this is going to be fun to rewatch too, just like knowing all that now and see what picks up there. And Victoria, I have to ask you about working with Dermot because he just is able to do so much while only saying one single word this entire film. How is it acting against him? Because it's just his like pure presence, but he's like projecting that so well.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I feel like he has a really strong presence in the film. And I feel like people haven't really seen Dermot in this way. And although he does say very little, like you really feel like his character. Like you, I don't know. But yeah, working with him was great. He's a such a seasoned professional. I mean, he's been doing this for so long, but he's also just really kind and was making sure that like I always felt comfortable, was just fun to hang out with Offset as well, which was really cool. So yeah, we had a great time, and I think he's great in it.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And Devin, I want to ask you about Paul, the director, because this is a film he's been trying to get up off the ground for 20 years. Obviously, he wrote the script as well, so he just knows this inside and out. When it's such a passion project for the director, how does that kind of help you as an actor? Because I assume you were able to really help flesh out this character, since it's all coming from his mind.
Totally. And he had so much passion for the story. Obviously, sitting on it for so long, just like builds passion and he cared so much about the story. And also just one of those directors who cares so much about the actors and what they need to, play this character that he's written, which is so important for someone to have actors in mind. Um, especially first time director to be that, conscious of like, what do you guys need to understand this, or do you need to watch playback or da da da, you know what I mean? Which is so important because not everyone's like that, and it's such an important thing for your actors to like, first of all, be comfortable on set and with everyone, and second of all, just, fully understand what's happening in the story. And there's a lot going on in the story. So it was just really helpful that he just knew, he wrote it, he knows it inside and out, and he's the mind behind it. So yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And Victoria, some of my favorite scenes in this film are you and Sasha talking because despite being a model, she's able to be like really intimidating, and it was such a
Mhm.
shock. How is it sharing those scenes with her? Because she just like went all for it, and it's really entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think she's great in the movie, and I that was one of my favorite scenes to film. To be honest, it was cool. I feel like I that when we filmed that scene together where we are kind of face to face for the first time, I hadn't really gone to know her really at all yet. So like even her as a person, there was still this kind of like mystery about her, and so I feel like in a way it helped me in the scene because my character obviously is um not expecting to see her, and it kind of all played into each other. But yeah, that was a really fun scene. I loved that one.
And Devin, Taylor John Smith is the other lead. What stood out about him as a scene partner? Because we see him show a lot of different sides throughout the film as it changes and morphs into other movies within itself. So how's it working with Taylor?
I mean, Taylor was awesome. Taylor was like a big brother. He was like so obviously me as like kind of an underdog was so caring, and just like he literally was like a big brother. Like we would do self tapes together on our off days, and like he was just like a really nice, like kind of rock to be there. Because when you're in Thailand, you're in like a random place, and I was 2 years ago, I was 22 or whatever. It was like it's really nice having kind of like a big brother figure, but also just like so fun to work with because he's such a good actor.